Welcome back to another edition of Should We Care? I haven't done one for a while, but I thought I would tonight because of the news over this young Chinese girl. She passed away today, and I find that very upsetting. The whole situation was upsetting, so I thought I'm going to do a Should We Care tonight. Why am I talking about Should We Care today? Well, a number of reasons, but what really brought it to a head today was, I said, the death of this 2-year-old. This little girl in China who was run over by a car. 18 people walked past her. They showed it on the camera, on the street cam that was there, and they numbered each individual. 18 walked past her, 2 years old, and then she was finally hit by a truck. Eventually made it to hospital, but she died shortly after midnight last night after brain and organ failure. Her injuries, they said, were too severe. But 18 people walked past her. She's become a symbol now in China as a decay in public morals. And you know what? I'm seeing that decay here too. And it's really starting to make me sick. Because our public morals are starting to degrade as well. People don't seem to care anymore about what's happening outside of their world, outside of their comfort zone, outside of their family. And this is the type of thing that comes because of it. And what makes me think that moral decay is happening here in Canada? Well, in the last week, I've done 3 videos, 2 on suicide, 1 on murder. One was an 11-year-old boy with a disability who committed suicide because he was being bullied because of his disability. The other was a 15-year-old boy, made the national news. His funeral was today. Jamie Hubley. And he was being bullied because he was openly gay in school. Now, he had a lot of support from his family. He was seeing a therapist. And still, the bullying was to that level that he opted to kill himself. And the third one was a young fellow out in the Vancouver area, 18 years old, Jamie Kehoe, trying to be a good Samaritan, tried to break up a fight between two women he didn't know, on public transport, knifed him in the neck, he bled to death. You know, people sat back while that happened. So, should we care? Yeah, we better start friggin' caring soon. I have a grandson who's just a little over a year old, and I'm not going to wait until some tragedy happens before I start paying attention to the morals that are decreasing in this country. It's insanity that's starting to take over here, and people are ignoring it. I don't know how educated individuals can just sit back and let this happen. I like to think I care. In my own ways, you know, I do what I can. I have my own blog. Many people are aware of that. I write regularly. I do these video logs fairly regularly, particularly when I see something that I feel is an injustice. I consider myself well-read. I follow the news quite closely, both nationally and internationally. I look for patterns. I see how things are affecting each other, how it's going to affect us. And so I stay alert. I don't expect that same level of caring from everybody, but I do expect, I'm starting to expect anyway, people to at least acknowledge what's going on in Canada. We are becoming an ethical wasteland, and it frightens me. And in many ways, I'm supporting it. Because many of the people I know, retired folks, you know, people that are my generation or older, others that are getting closer to retirement, you know, I excuse them by saying they've worked hard to get to this point, and now, yes, they just want to be focused on their family. Well, you know what? I want to be focused on my family too, but that doesn't mean I turn a blind eye to the shit that's going on in this country. And I've been excusing these people for a long time by saying, it's all right, you know, They worked hard to get here. Well, that's fine. But when I see the type of moral degradation that leads to a situation where a 2-year-old can be left on the street after being run over twice and 18 people walk past her, it makes me sick. And because that's the type of thing that's starting to happen here in Canada. We're ignoring the crap that's going on around us, and I'm tired of it. Really tired of it. So to all of those people out there, do we care? No. Obviously, many of you don't. Should we care? Yes, because we don't want to get to that point where we're watching our children lying in the street, dying, and yet that's what's happening. So wake up, Canada, because it's time everybody started caring a little bit. I'm not expecting any one of you to go out there and taking a lion's share of advocacy, but at least open your eyes to what's happening around us and don't go living your life in denial. Because as the old saying goes, the only place that is in Egypt. And these days, if you follow the news, God knows what's happening over there too. All right, so that's me today on my little rant on should we care, do we care? I like to think I care. Do you? How did you feel about this little 2-year-old dying? Because that's the type of shit that leads to lack of moral compass, and that's where we're heading, Canada. Thank you very much. Have a good night.